Judah, let the lion roar. Hail, hail, Lion of Judah, let the lion roar. Hail, hail, Lion of.
Good day, good day. It's God Says Ministries, the House of Fire, and I'm Prophet Tavis. So as the neighborhood's kids play in the background, hopefully you can hear me above their voices, all 7 of them. We draw to a close. Yeah. Tomorrow I fly back to South Africa and then back to East London where I live. And it's been quite an adventure. Very, very tiring. I know I've dropped a few pounds, maybe a few more, an extra 12 baskets full. And we've built the tower. We've got to finish it a little bit. There's a couple of railings missing, a couple of balustrading, I should say, on the walkways. And then around the bottom of the tower at the nursery, there's a balustrading missing there. So we got to finish that, but I gave instructions to Mishak and Waiswa. The Waiswa doesn't understand English, but Mishak does. So I gave instructions to them to start oiling it in the meantime. I want to put another floor on top of the floor that we've already got on top. Not quite happy with it. The middle floor is very strong, very strong. The planks I got for the top floor, they ended up not so wonderful. Look, they're strong enough to walk on, but they're just, when you walk on them, they move, whereas the middle floor doesn't move at all. So I want to put a decent layer of decent planks across the top. So they're going to oil those planks in the meantime. They're going to finish the plastering, hopefully, inside. They've got about 3/4 bag of cement, which should actually do the plaster inside. And they're going to finish the stonework down the side. I showed them how to do the stonework. So hopefully they do it right and it goes down the side all right. They've got to find stones for that. But otherwise, the main structure and everything that it's supposed to be doing is working. The nursery irrigation system, that is working. And so they've just got to start to prepare the soil that go into those planters around the sides, towards the door. And of course the bags, seedling bags will go in the middle, around the middle pole, where there are drip sections there as well. So the drip irrigation system is not a bought system. It's what I had looked at a couple of times and different systems and what have you, and I just came up with my own. Basically, it's a pipe plugged into a pipe, a small pipe into a bigger pipe that's filled with water with a drum on top. And that little pipe lets out water, but there's a knot tied in it so that you can tighten or loosen the knot to allow all of them to drip at the same time. You can plug some of them off with a small stick, and you use a small stick and you use a tie strap, or what do you call a zip tie, and zip tie it to a small stick, and then you can actually pinpoint your growing areas, and the water runs down the stick itself, drips down the stick to the ground right by the roots. So everything like that is working. The post box, I made a post box. And people ask me, how do you get the letters out? I said, well, you're not supposed to be getting letters out. God is the one taking the letters out. So it's a little prophetic post box. It's a sign of prophetic worship, basically. You write a letter to God and you post it in the post box. You can't get it out. Only one can get it out is God, because there's a world that's shut without a little slot in the front. So there's a few little things that need to be sorted out. As I said, the balustrading, I want that finished because children are running up and down there, and I don't want them to slip under the railing and fall off there. But the balustrading around the top deck is done. The bottom deck, second deck is done. It's a quarter away around the nursery to keep the chickens out. And there's still a door or gate or something to be made up so the chickens can't get in there and the goats can't get in there. But it's pretty much done. It's just the bits and pieces of cosmetics and just a little extra safety balustrade here on the walkways. But the rest of it's basically done. As I said, I got 80 liters of oil, which is I got a poison in it, which prevents termites and ants and other insects from eating it, and fungi and water from penetrating it and rotting it at the end of the day. We want it to last a decade or two at least, and be strong for a decade or two. So when I get back to South Africa, I sorted myself out. I'm going to send money through just for the finishing off, and a little extra for Mishak and Waiswa. Give them a little bit of extra for the work they're doing, because they're doing the work in between their work. They look after the animals, the pigs and the cows and the goats and chickens, and so they got quite a job to make sure their pens are cleaned and take the cows down out to pasture and take the goats out to pasture, bring them back and milk the cow and feed them and everything like that. The chickens and the geese. The geese that are there, they're the watchdogs. You hear them at night protecting the chickens. When anybody walks past the chickens, those geese make a racket. So in between their work, they're going to work on the tower and finish it off. So I'm going to send a little, like a 50,000 shillings each, which is about 250 rand. It's about $15 each, or something like that. So yeah. And so it's been one hell of a trip. As I said, I've lost quite a few pounds. Very tired still. I've had a couple of days rest now, but I'm still very tired, the body. And I forgot that this place is 1,200 meters above sea level, and I live at sea level, so the air up here is a lot thinner, so you can't move as much fast as you could at sea level. And me being so unfit in the beginning made it even worse. But it's been one hell of a trip, and we've got some words out here in Uganda itself, sitting in the land itself and prophesying the word of God, what he is saying about the land and the government and just the whole change that is coming, whether they like it or not. It's coming. And the glory of God is going to hit this land like they've never seen before. And this place is going to be on fire for God. Look, it's very on fire for God at the moment, but on fire, really on fire for God. And all the wannabe pastors and everything are going to be washed out of the woodwork, and we're going to be left with the genuine, true servants of God. The guys that are taking advantage, there's lots of them here, of pastors' mantle, basically. And they're very, very false pastors. They've broken marriages up and all sorts of things. So God's he's coming for his church first, and he's going to wash out the dead wood, the termites that shouldn't be there, that are taking advantage of his glory and his grace. So there's a big change coming to Uganda, and it's coming soon. Well, we fly back tomorrow. I'll land back at about 12 p.m. lunchtime, midday. I've got to fly out at like 3:30 in the morning, early hours in the morning on Thursday morning. I'm going to be at the airport on Tuesday, 11, coming to 12 o'clock. So tomorrow I'm just going to, wake up, do a bit of the day, and go back and have a good snooze, good sleep, because it's going to be a long night back to South Africa on the plane, and the next day in Joburg, a 3-hour wait, and then back. By the time I get back, it'll be midday. So I don't want to be as tired as I was when I came back from India. So I'm going to have a good afternoon snooze, sleep, and then be sort of fresh-ish before I go back to South Africa. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys that have sewed into this project and into the ministry. I mean, you guys are gems. I mean, gems of heaven. You know, you're absolute stars. And I know, and this ministry only seeks 100-fold. So whoever sows into this ministry, that's what you must expect. 100-fold, 100% increase. And because God is the God of overflow, 12 baskets or 7 baskets full. 7 baskets full. It depends how big the basket is in your faith. You know, you could have a basket this size, or you could have a basket that you carry on your back. So that's up to you, how you see the basket. Anyway, I just want to thank you, and Pastor Grace thanks you, and the children at Kayaba thank you. We did a lot of extra things there. We bought them some more firewood. We cleaned up their firewood. We got guys with chainsaws to cut up the big trunks and trees that were lying around the place for firewood. So neaten up the place a bit. What else did we do? There was a few things we did extra other than the tower. Buying things for the actual school as such. And fixing things around there. You know, the wheelbarrows are laughing, wheelbarrows flop, flop, flop. I got in there, and I didn't have any steel, but I repaired them. Let's make them operational with wood. We repaired 2 generators of theirs that were packed up. What else? Oh yeah, we made chicken beds. The chickens were sleeping on bricks on the floor, and dogs coming in at night and eat the chickens' eggs. So with the poles, some of the poles and the planks, we made sort of 900 off the floor chicken boxes, like 7 on a table, 7 on another table. So the chickens can now lay their eggs in sort of peace, basically. What else did we do? We made a couple of these little stools, sit-down stools, where they can sit in and cook the meals at night. We did odds and bits and pieces just to make life a little bit more easier. So we were involved in all of that, you know, and you were involved in all of that, because you are we. And I'm a one-man ministry, basically. But you are all part of it. You are the congregation. You are all part of it. I'm not a pastor. I'm an evangelist, teacher, and a prophet. And so this is how I run the ministry. How God sees it in the future, I don't know. But I would like to have a little place, not as a church building, but a little place like a coffee shop or something. Well, coffee's free, put it that way. The coffee shop where people can dip out on their lunchtimes and come and sit and get fired up again and listen to worship music, have decent God conversations, have words spoken over them, just get fired up for the rest of the day, you know, just a place to hang out on a Saturday and meet your friends and just be in the presence of God. You can stay the whole day if you wanted to, you know, have worship music in the background, real loungy type coffee shop, you know. I wouldn't call it a shop then, but that's what I would like to have, because when I do trips like this, I can just close the doors and, well, somebody will run it for me, you know. It's not like much running because it's basically you and God and a cup of coffee. This is where you can gather with the brethren, you know, with a cup of coffee and God conversation. No gossip. So, yeah, I don't know what the future is. I know I go back to my little flat and my cat, and expecting great things from God to happen. There's quite a few prophecies outstanding still. They haven't come to manifest. Quite a few have. So I am expecting great things in the next 3 months around the world, completely around the world. I'm just looking up into the sky. There's clouds, a bunch of clouds that look like a bird, a bird's head with his beak. Sorry, I see these things. I see a lot more in the sky than just the average person, who say, oh, that cloud looks like this, or that cloud looks like Mickey Mouse. Or I see things that look pretty realistic, You've seen a couple on my Facebook I've posted. The guy's side of the guy's face and his eye, and he's even got the eyelid underneath, the nose, the cheekbone, everything. The eyes like so real. Anyway, and that's above Uganda, Kayawe, and the eagle, the martial eagle, the African eagle in the sky, and the African lion, in the sky as well, amongst other things. So, yeah. Oh, the ducks are coming flying around the corner here. And 61 days today, 62 tomorrow, and home. Home. As I said, it's been awesome. It's been glorious. And can't wait for the next one. Although Pastor Himanshu is really saying when I'm coming back to India. I wasn't there. I was there, 3 months ago, So, bless you guys. May His favor drip from every part of you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.